Well, okay. Here we are again. Happy Wednesday to the people. It is the 18th of March, and here I am to record for you another YouTube video regarding comic books. So, we're going to get into it this week here. I think it's going to be just oh my gosh, that's the creepiest thing I've ever seen. Ashley, welcome to the show once again. You missed last week. What do you have to say for yourself?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just told the people you were busy with running a comic book store.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, I hear.
Can be. It can be. It's been known to.
What
What are we talking about this week?
Yeah, we thought we would talk this week about recommended reading.
A question we get asked a lot.
I would say so.
Yeah.
We
what are you reading? That kind of question. You know?
Yeah, we get like a lot of, like what I haven't really read comics. I want to try them out. What would you recommend? Through various points in history in the store, we've actually had little shelves. Bobby recommends, Ashley recommends, even Erica recommends, stuff that we've read that we kind of want the people to try out.
Mm-hmm.
But we thought, we would offer some suggestions for the layman, the comic, the person who's never read comics before, and then some stuff that's maybe off the beaten path for the seasoned vet.
I was gonna say, we get people who, I've only read DC stuff. I thought about reading Marvel or vice versa, or I was hoping for a good recommendation on a non-superhero story or something like that. So yeah.
Okay, so maybe let's start with some stuff that's more approachable for people who've not really read comic books. Where would you get started if you were to just say, hey, I was to say to you, Ashley, I've never read a comic book before. I really like the Marvel and movies. I love the Justice League and Batman movies. I've seen the cartoons. What should I read?
Absolute Batman.
Absolute Batman's your number one?
Like, if you want to get a feel of like current comic landscape.
Yeah. Scott Snyder's writing that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a fantastic jumping on point. You don't need to know 80 years of back history.
It kind of helps contextualize why things are kind of the way they are.
Sure.
They're a little unique with Absolute Batman in that a lot of the characters have slight variations. So you kind of get to juxtapose in your mind, this guy's his friend, even though he's normally his villain, right?
Yep.
But yeah, pretty cool little recommendation there, Ash. How about the other Absolutes? Have you read any of the other ones?
I'm not fully caught up on all of them. I like Wonder Woman.
That's been really good. I recommend that as well.
Martian Manhunter's great, but I feel like you really got to like the art.
It is different.
The art style is...
It's very trippy, right?
Yeah. It's almost like along the same lines of like people who really like Michael Allred, like if you don't like Michael Allred and you try to read a story, you might be like, what is going on here? Peach Momoko as a more recent one.
Allred did a run on Silver Surfer that's very popular. I've not read it, but I know it's very popular. It's a love story, I think, too. Yep. It's quite good. So that's a pretty good recommendation. You got a Marvel one that you'd refer the people to?
Something. I mean, I'd try to sing it from the mountaintops that the mid-2000s Ed Brubaker Captain America run is kind of what got me back into comics.
I think we've probably talked about it on the show
at
before.
some point. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. And in the origin story episode.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty great run. That's when they brought Bucky. I mean, light spoilers here, but they brought Bucky back as the Winter Soldier.
There's probably a 20-year
like moratorium on the topic.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, those are pretty solid recommendations.
Sure.
I think for me, when I got back into comics like really heavily, it was in the early mid 2010s, I want to say, and a little before that even yet. Like Civil War, I think was probably 2007 or around there.
Sounds right. Yeah.
So that was like my big jumping on point.
Good story too.
Yeah, the comic is so much better than the movie in my opinion. The problem is a lot of tie-ins.
Oh, I think there's 146 books or something like that.
there's
to
a
tie
few.
Into. Like it's an incredible amount of reading if you are someone who tries to read every part of the story.
Yeah.
Or
Well, and it's a unique one because all those tie-in books are basically other characters' perspectives on what's happening based off of, like, you have the main Civil War books, so like it'll be like Civil War number 2, this happens, and then the next issue in the Civil War tie-ins will be all those characters reacting to what happened in Civil War 2.
right.
It's very unnecessary a lot of the time, but still some good storytelling nevertheless. So I do recommend Civil War. It's quite good. But in addition to that, I would say like Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, love those. I might have said on here before, not a huge fan of John Romita Jr.'s art, but yeah, he did the art for World War Hulk. But the Planet Hulk run by itself, I mean, the two of them together is fantastic storytelling in my opinion.
Sure.
So if you're a person who's into the Marvel movies, check those ones out. And for a DC recommendation, I'd go a little ways back. I would read Crisis on Infinite Earths. That one is interesting because it kind of changed the landscape of what DC was doing at the time. This is back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And they just purchased a company called Charlton. And they had now got licensed to specific characters that they didn't have previously.
Blue Beetle,
Question.
Sure.
There's a handful of other ones. So they had the license to use these characters and wanted to bring them into their continuity. So in order to do that, they did this big event, or they smashed all these universes together, kind of. And yeah, it's interesting. You should check it out.
Couple of prominent characters die.
No spoilers. I mean, but if you're coming off the street saying, "Hey, what should we read?" If you like superheroes, those are some solid ones.
What about non-superhero? You got a non-superhero recommendation?
Oh, brother, that's most of what I read nowadays is non-superhero stuff.
Sure.
I'm not opposed to superheroes. Obviously, grew up on them, love them. Watch the cartoons, watch the movies.
That'd be a hot take if you didn't.
Yeah, I would say for me, there's a book I want to say. Oh, I'm annoyed that I don't know it off the top of my head. There is a book called Northlanders. I feel like it's a Vertigo book.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Brian K. Vaughan, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Brian Wood. Brian Wood. Yeah. Sorry.
So the first 8 issues or 10 issues, something like that, there's a story called Sven the Returned of Northlanders. Some of the best writing, and thanks, a big shout out to friend of the store, Mike, our buddy Mike, for putting me onto that one back when I was getting into comics again.
And then so Sven the Returned is amazing, and then his second story is like Sven the Faceless or something.
I can't remember, but he comes like I don't want to spoil it. Northlanders is about 50 issues long, I think.
Yeah.
It went for a very long time, and it starts out as like a story about ancient Vikings, and as time moves, as you read the series, time is moving forward, and you get these different storylines with different characters. You're kind of seeing how the Vikings kind of are starting to not be the prominent kind of type of warrior or civilization in the time period as you move forward through time reading these books. It's interesting stuff if you're into like history and medieval stuff. So that's a good one. What about you?
Northlanders is right up there.
Yeah.
I also love Jason Aaron did Scalped.
Oh yeah.
Again, another DC Vertigo title.
Sure.
That was a fantastic book. Trying to think what else.
Oh, you said before the other DC book, the Black Label one.
Oh, nice House by the Lake. Yeah. Sure. Which is a recent release.
Nice House on the lake or by the lake?
So it's Nice House.
I think it's on the lake.
Well, we're getting into the weeds a little bit, but it was Nice House on the Lake, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, 12-part series. James Tinian.
Nice House on the Lake.
There we go.
Had to confirm it for the people here.
Yeah, fair. Really enjoyed that one.
Yeah. I have I think I got a graded 9.8 copy, number 1.
Sure.
I'm not a graded guy, but that's the thing.
I think you and I both agreed basically anything Brubaker wrote. I mean, all of his crime noir stuff.
Yeah, so
Fatale,
Ed Brubaker, right?
Incognito, Criminal.
Incognito is a really cool one. If you're looking for something that's not, if you like superheroes but you also like crime noir stuff, Incognito is a book about a guy who used to work as a supervillain, and he was kind of involved in like the supervillain mob, and he gets double crossed by, there's no honor among thieves kind of thing, and he goes into he survives somehow. Everyone thinks he's dead, but he survives and gets put into witness protection program, and he rats on a lot of these villains. And the story kind of picks up this guy. He's not allowed to use his superpowers anymore. He's got to take medicine. It's kind of like if the Matrix and like I don't know, like Batman kind of crime noir stuff kind of all smashed together. It's a really good read. It's short too. It's maybe like 4 or 6 issues long.
It's one trade, right?
Incognito, yeah, but it's tied. There's a second story and stuff too.
Well, sure, main story.
Brubaker, as we mentioned, fantastic writer, incredible stuff. A lot of his stuff is only actually available as a graphic novel format. You can't find
that's his
typically
thing,
22 issue ones. Yeah, he's mainly a
the criminal ones
guy.
in particular. It's just a one shot trade paperback graphic novel kind of thing, and
there's another book here too. Maybe let's say, like, if you're looking for something really stylistic, something that's unique and off the beaten trail, something that's kind of weird, there's a book, I can't remember if he wrote it, but there's an artist named Jamie McKelvey. He's very popular for he was part of the redesigns that they did for Captain Marvel back in the day, where she got like the mohawk and stuff.
Sure,
So McKelvey, he did a book with someone I'm sure called Phonogram, and that book is like one of the most crazy experiences to read. I think there's another one he did around the same time called Suburban Glamour or something like that. But those are two really off the beaten trail ones. If you can find them, the art is some of the coolest comic art you'll see probably. It's very, very clean. McKelvey has extremely clean pencils. His line work is amazing. I love the art. And Phonogram's written, like every issue almost, I don't know how to explain it. To me, it feels like reading a song lyrics. Like it's very, it's really different. So like, check it out for sure.
Sounds pretty artsy. Yes.
Yeah. What about if you're gonna recommend something way off the beaten path?
Way off the beaten path.
Yeah.
Nothing. Come back to me on that one. Yeah.
I got.
I'll try to get the hamster back.
No,
on the
for
wheel
sure.
Yep.
There's another one too that I think Netflix or somebody made a movie of it. It's called I Killed Giants.
Oh yeah. Sure.
I can't really say too much about it because it would spoil the ending, and that's kind of the biggest part. There's a really big twist at the end.
There's no 20-year moratorium on that one.
No, I would say that the ending of it is kind of the most important part, so you don't want to give it away. But it's about a young girl who kills giants, essentially. But you'd have to watch it or read it to find out what the giants actually are. It's very interesting stuff. It's a tearjerker of a read for sure.
I thought of one that's kind of off the beaten path. More recent.
Okay.
Also Jason Aaron. Evidently we like these certain writers, but he did one, I believe it just ended like last year, called Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, where it's kind of
I know
post-apocalyptic.
He wrote that, did he? Jason Aaron.
Yeah, for Boom.
Yeah, I think that's a Boom book. Yeah, you're right. I remember seeing it in the shop here. It's got that one cover with the two people like on a boat or something.
Yeah,
they're like kissing each other with gas masks or something.
They essentially he's a guy who's lost in post-apocalyptic, trying to fend for himself. Happens upon this young girl who's like, super self-sufficient, wants no part of, being a team or nothing like that. But as circumstances have it, they end up needing each other, and a little romance ensues.
Sure.
And, I thought it was a great story.
That's cool.
And definitely I'd call it a return to form. Jason Aaron kind of started on non-superhero stuff.
Sure.
And, you know, his time with his Thor run.
He did Wolverine for a while too.
Wolverine,
I think, yeah.
Star Wars. I mean, his stuff was great, but then he kind of, you know, was like, I'm going to try another, you know, non-superhero story. And yeah, Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, great read.
There's a few other, let's call, like, the thing is, with a lot of these recommendations, I wrote a little list here. It turned out to be kind of a larger list, but there's a lot of what I would call like very approachable stuff for people who have heard of superheroes and comics.
Sure.
So maybe I'll give a quick rapid fire of some of these.
Or even what do you, like, we've talked a lot about stuff we like and that. What would you call like probably falls into what you're mentioning, like a must read, something like,
So
even if you're new to comics, like it's a story that like it changed the landscape, you know, whatever, like what would you pick? I know you got Kingdom Come on the list. That's
Kingdom
gotta
Come
be right
is
up there.
really cool, but it's very self-contained. I
Sure.
mean, if you know who Alex Ross is, he's this very unique kind of painted comic art style. Typically, he mostly does covers, at least these days. But for a time, he was doing the interiors as well. And Kingdom Come is kind of, I would say, one of his most notable works. It's an alternate future where Superman is not on Earth. He's kind of just left, and all the superheroes are old or have passed on, and things on Earth are not going so hot. And Superman comes back and tries to kind of right the ship on Earth. It's a really cool read. You know, Alex Ross's art is very unique. So again, if you're looking for something that's stylistic and you different than kind of the funny books of yesterday, that's a really good choice too.
But like required reading kind of thing.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty required. Like, so as far as required reading is going to go here, if you're really like wanting to get into comics, I think I don't even like this series very much. I've been very vocal in the store about how like I don't like it, but its own creator hates it too. DC put out a book again. I want to say early '80s called The Watchmen. Late '70s, early '80s, right?
Oh, Alan Moore hating his own stuff.
Yes, that's who.
What a surprise!
Yeah, he's whenever you can get a chance to watch an Alan Moore interview, they basically went into a swamp and found him in a hut somewhere and pulled him into the sunlight to film an interview where he slags his own work. He basically hates his own work. And it's interesting because Watchmen, it has this very weird, I guess, intention where he was kind of making a comic book about superheroes and how like bad they would be. Like they shouldn't be good for society, right?
Sure.
And he doesn't even like his own work, and it's gotten all these awards and is world-renowned and movie, blah, 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 but he hates it.
Would you say that there's a single creator other than him that has had more of his stuff turned into TV or movie? I mean, like
creator-owned stuff?
That pop right up, like, so Sandman, 4, Sandman, Watchmen, V for Vendetta, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, like, I mean...
Didn't Neil Gaiman do Sandman?
Sorry, you're right. Yeah, I was
but
thinking,
still, Alan Moore is very well known in the comic book world, and his resume speaks for itself.
Right, yeah.
But you're probably right. He might have the most movies and stuff made of his work. But as far as like required reading goes, and when I say reading, there is certainly some reading to do with Watchmen because there's some pages that got some text.
It gives true meaning to the words graphic novel.
Yeah. Check out Watchmen if you're looking for something, and it is a superhero graphic novel comic book, but it is also got a lot of elements of crime noir. There's a lot of kind of morality and there's a lot of things at play. It's a very, if you really need to, you don't have the means or you don't have the time to sit down and read a comic book, and you can find it somewhere, watch the movie. It's a pretty faithful adaptation up until the ending. The ending is quite different, but I'm not a big Watchmen fan, but it is recommended or required reading if you're asking me.
Yep. I'd go with Identity Crisis.
Yeah,
Identity Crisis
that's a fantastic
is
one too.
yeah. I have this. I'm discovering this as I sit here.
Mm-hmm.
I have a propensity for stories with well done, well scripted, written romance.
I think Identity Crisis.
Hush.
Yeah. Yeah. Hush
Identity
is a good one.
Crisis. I mentioned Once Upon a Time at the End of the World.
Maybe you're just a big softie.
Maybe but I've
Casanova.
Maybe it's because I've found that in history, romance is more of an afterthought or a
Shoehorned in.
it's
Sometimes.
shoehorned in
Yeah.
or like meant to be funny
Yeah.
or like in the case of lots of the old like 60s and 70s DC stuff, it was seen almost as like a punishment.
Sure.
You know, like Lois Lane runs off and marries some guy to punish Superman because he's a jerk. Yeah. So
I feel you. I think Identity Crisis. Going back to that, that's a great read.
fantastic.
I can't believe that a movie has not been made for that story yet.
Sure.
I think if you're a younger person and you're finding that you're just getting into comics, you're watching this for the first time, I would say if you're not older than 16, skip that one for now. There's a lot of mature themes going on in Identity Crisis that probably you should talk to a parent about before reading it. It's a
Or
tough
let them
read.
read it first.
Yeah, let them read it first and decide for you. Get your parents into comics too. It'd be a great start. So I'm gonna rapid fire some of these suggestions because I wrote this whole list down. And then
Be a shorter list what's not on there.
Yeah.
Almost. What do you,
So here's what we're working with. Okay, I'm gonna go quick. Marvel, Civil War, Illuminati, Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, original Secret Wars. Great read.
not Secret Wars 2.
You could read Secret Wars 2 if you're really into the Beyonder. If you're not, don't worry about it.
Sure.
Secret Wars 2015, read it before the movie comes out and review which one you like more. Secret Invasion and Young Avengers, really good reads back to back.
It was Warren Ellis did Secret Invasion,
I think
right?
so, yeah, I think. I
Or
could
am
be wrong.
am I thinking Secret Avengers? Either way, yeah. Good reading, very good reading.
Dark Avengers and Siege, read those back to back if you're, that's 2010 or so. That very good reads, but
No
it's important.
surprise, Sentry is one of Bobby's favorites.
Yes, Sentry is one of my all-time favorite characters. And if you're able, pick up the new Sentry book, which is out today. Sentry #1. Great read so far. Only 3 issues. We'll see what happens as the next couple months roll around. Let's move over to DC here. So we've got Kingdom Come we talked about. Hush, which is a story about Batman's childhood friend kind of trying to commit identity theft and being a not good guy.
And it happens right in the middle of, it's Batman 608 to 619 from Volume 1.
Yeah, and Jim Lee did a lot of the art in and around that,
Yep.
especially in the covers. Really good stuff from him. You could read as well, if we're on Batman here, Death in the Family was way back in the day there.
Issue 425, 6, 7, and 8, I think?
Yeah, something like 4 issues.
Yeah, or 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that.
Really important story for the history of comics because the first time that I know of where DC knew that a character was very unpopular, so they said, we're going to put it to a vote as to whether or not this character lives or dies. And you could phone in and vote. I call this number for vote yes, vote this no, call this number for vote no. And the no's won it. So, All-Star Batman and Robin, really cool read. Speaking of Jim Lee.
The best story that never got finished.
Some people hate All-Star Batman and Robin. I think it's a fun read if you think of it as an alternate universe. It's not traditional Batman.
And not for kids.
No,
It's
if you're
dark.
young, let's skip that one if you're a youngster. Speaking of dark, All-Star Superman. That's a pretty heavy one too, because it's about Superman finding out his powers are killing him, more or less.
Yeah.
Crisis on Infinite Earths we talked about. Green Lantern Rebirth and a lot of the stuff that Jeff Johns did in and around the early to mid 2000s, 2004, 5, 6, around then for DC. Really good reading. Flash, Teen Titans, Green Lantern. Really fun stuff. Again, DC, the OMAC Project. That's a really cool read if you are into the Justice League as a whole. There's a lot of fallout from that story, which affects the Justice League in the mid to early 2000s as well. Lastly here, I'll touch on another book called We Three. This is a really stylish kind of graphic novel. I think there's single issues as well out there. It's about these dogs that are these animals that are kind of put into mechanized suits by the military to use as kind of a disposable force. But a scientist who's involved with it has this kind of ethical problem with everything, as she should, and frees the animals more or less, and they try to escape, and it's a whole thing. It's really neat. It's a very cool, story.
Sure.
Lastly, we'll touch on some indies here quickly. So we touched on the Brubaker stuff, Incognito, Fatal, Criminal, etc. There's a story called No One Left to Fight, which
Forgot
is
about that one. You like that one a lot,
it's
eh?
kind of like Dragon Ball Z if you're into anime and manga. It's one of the most colorful comics I've ever read. Literally,
Wildest
the colors are
palettes
crazy.
I've ever seen. Yeah.
Insane stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of tough to find, but very inspired. You could see right from the get-go.
Dark Horse, I think they did that one, right?
I think so. So Phonogram and I think Suburban Glamour, basically anything Jamie McKelvey did the art for, really, really fun as well. I Kill Giants, we talked about. There is a current book called Radiant Black, and it's part of something called the Massive Verse.
Right.
That is a really fun read. If you ever in your life were a kid and watched Power Rangers, check this book out. It's really fun. There's not enough people reading and talking about it. It's really, really good.
Yeah, you're pretty high on that book.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's fun stuff. Birthright's another really cool one if you're into medieval stuff. It's about a kid who's playing he's playing catch with his dad one day, and they live their house is on the edge of a forest, and dad throws the ball too hard. Kid goes to the edge into the forest to go get the ball, disappears. Few years later, dad's life is falling apart. The marriage is gone. Everyone thinks the dad did something bad to the kid. Some guy shows up, he's got a sword. This dude shows up out of nowhere with a sword in this small town, and they arrest him like, hey, you can't be carrying a sword around town. And he's like, well, okay, you could arrest me. And they say, well, what's your name? He says, oh, my name is John, and he's basically claiming that he's the dad's kid that threw the ball.
Right.
And he's a full-grown man. It's only been like a couple of years, and so there's a lot of questions. But it turns out he got teleported to this medieval universe, this evil sorcerer. It's pretty cool. It's unique. It's interesting stuff.
Interesting.
Lastly, Infinite Vacation. If you really want something stylish, there's a book called Low. There's another book called Die. Manhattan Projects.
These Kirkman that did Die?
Oh, don't put me on the spot. I don't know.
Sorry. I think it's Kirkman. I'm pretty sure.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
We could both be wrong on that. Manhattan Projects is another really cool one if you're looking for a stylistic one. And then finally, we'll talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Shattered Grid. Again, if you ever watched Power Rangers as a kid, if you're our age, you're late 30s, possibly 40, and you enjoyed the Power Rangers ever, let me tell you, Shattered Grid is crazy. You got to read the whole of it, though. It starts kind of in a weird spot in the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger stuff in, I think, the early 2000s. Probably again around that sweet spot, 2000.
I want to say it's old. 2010,
maybe
2012?
Yeah, something like that. But it's a fantastic read, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if he's directly related to it, but one of the guys who's been writing all the good Power Rangers stuff, Kyle something, I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry, I apologize. But the guy who's doing Radiant Black is the guy who did all the good Power Ranger stuff, or the team, I believe, is doing their own thing with Radiant Black. So check those out, please. They're very, very good reads. And that's pretty much the list that we had written for you, folks. Anything you want to add, Ash?
I don't think so.
That's a loaded episode.
I feel like you and I kind of talked about this a little bit. There's a number of these stories where, and we've mentioned in other videos before too, you find an author or a writer that you like, or
an artist.
You can fall down that rabbit hole.
That's truly one of the best ways to really collect and identify what captures your interest with comics is find an author or an artist and follow them around. See, check out the other stuff they're doing, because you'll never know, right? I don't know anything about Phonogram, but I think I picked up an issue of Suburban Glamour. I'm gonna be so annoyed if I get that name wrong. But this other book McKelvey worked on, I saw the art and said, I'm just gonna, whatever this guy works on, I'm gonna read it because the art's so cool, right?
Sure.
And same thing with Jeff Johns. When I was reading through, I think some of his Flash stuff, I said, whatever he writes, I'll just check it out. It's so cool.
Important to note, based off this list too, I think as a person new to comics, or even us, we hear it every day. They don't make comics like they used to, or some shake hand at cloud thing.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, they
really do. You just got to find something you like to read.
Almost this
You're not
whole
reading
list,
enough stuff.
This is almost all modern stuff. Like in
Lots
terms
of it,
of
yeah.
in terms of age, this is stuff that's come out in the last 20 to 30 years. It's not old.
Detectives had 1,100 issues. You're going to tell me you read every one of those issues and liked all of them?
No.
Get out of here.
No. Yeah,
Pound sand.
The pre-Batman stuff.
That's what I'm saying, you know?
It's weird.
There's new books. There's old books. There's lots of good stuff to read. It's kind of what we're getting at.
Yeah, 100%. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this week. We're already over a half hour. We're getting into some long episodes lately, Ash.
We like to talk? I don't know.
It's mostly me, I think. I'm so sorry. I apologize to the people. We would love to know what your recommendations are. So please leave a comment on the video. We'll try and maybe in the edit here, I'll try and put like some pictures of the comics onto the screen when we're talking about them, so people know if they see them out in the wild, they can maybe pick them up. But yeah, leave a comment. Let us know what you folks are interested in and what you would recommend specifically. What you think is a must read, required reading. If you're giving out, you're doing a course on comic books, this has to be read in order for someone to pass, let's say.
Sure.
I want to know because I'm always looking for new stuff to read. Anything else for the people, Ash?
Like, subscribe, hit the bell.
You heard it from the man himself. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see ya. You know what? Next week, I don't think we're going to do an episode.
I won't be here.
Yeah, this guy's gone.
And then the week after that,
we have the
Booker T five-time.
Do you want to talk about it quick here at the end of the video?
We'll do a video on 5th anniversary of the shop on Wednesday.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, we'll figure out something for the people here. But in any case, thank you so much for tuning in, folks. We'll see you again in hopefully a week or sooner, or we'll figure it out. Toodaloo.
Doodles.